Now, ladies and gentlemen, the next case release inside of Counter-Strike Global Offensive could be a huge deciding factor for the game's future, at least for the next few months. And well, what I mean by that is if we get an operation case, then yeah, guaranteed an operation. But what if it's not? What if it's the one-off case we receive, people are going to go wild, and then it's guaranteed not to have an operation for the next few months? And I want to talk about if that happens and why or why not that may happen. So in today's video, I'm going to give you guys a quick summary and review, kind of a history lesson on the past previous CSGO cases and the months apart they've been, and some of the reasons why we would or maybe wouldn't get an operation. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that like button and of course subscribe. And here's a quick word from our video sponsor, SkinsMonkey. Now, today's video sponsor is of course SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is currently the easiest and also fastest way you can buy, but most importantly, trade your CSGO skins. All you have to do is make sure you have your trade link, and on your first trade, if you have a leftover balance, it goes towards your current balance that can be used the next time you end up trading skins. It has 3 ways you can inspect, but most importantly has a very in-depth inspect feature that you can see corners on a karambit, for an example, that you can't really see otherwise unless you have the item in game. If you end up topping up your balance, make sure to use promo code MANDO to get up to a 35% deposit bonus and a free $5 on the first trade. So the last case that released inside of Counter-Strike was the recoil case in July 1st of 2022. That was pretty recent, not that long ago, and that specifically was 3 months and 3 weeks ago. And the one before that, for you guys are wondering, was the Dreams and Nightmares case, and that released a very long time ago. It feels like an ancient long time ago at this point. That was in January, so there was a 7-month gap in between the Dreams and Nightmares going to the recoil case. And the recoil case is only 3 months old, which is kind of crazy considering there was a 7th-month gap. Are we going to wait 7 months? Most likely not, but it's definitely on the table and up for discussion. Most cases on average before this release anywhere from a 4 to 7th-month period apart anyway. From some operation cases, they take a break and then release a case a couple months later. That sometimes happens. Those are usually just the one-offs. And I don't see anyone talking about the possibility of CSGO's next case not to be an Operation X case, for an example. Everyone's automatically assuming we're going to get an operation. The past 3 years, we've had Shattered Web, Broken Fang, and the most recent one being Riptide. People are considering that some sort of pattern. 3 years in a row? Wow, that's absolutely amazing. But CSGO doesn't really like to work on a schedule like that, especially for CSGO's economy. And this could be another reason why CSGO is not receiving a whole lot of gameplay updates alongside monetary items mainly. With so many people playing the game, people are bound to buy lots and lots of items, but on top of that, with a higher player count, we're going to have normally double or sometimes triple the amount of items we'll have regularly on the market. So that'll create a lot of supply, but not very much demand for some of the newer items. So oversaturation would be a big problem. That's why I think right now operation is not really on the table. If the next case isn't an operation case, I don't see in any way, shape, or form the reasons why Valve would drop an operation that close to that release of a recent case. Just doesn't really make any sense. It's usually the other way around. We get an operation, and then we get a one-off case, usually containing the same golds in them. Now, I personally think CSGO desperately needs an operation or some sort of case to come out in the next few months for multiple different reasons. The main one being, it's no hidden factor secret that CSGO cases are in a very low supply and in a very high demand. Something Petrie said in one of his recent videos talking about the Rio Major stickers and how they were pretty much garbage save CSGO investing, that pretty much stuck with me, and I'm going to discuss that right now. He said something along the lines of CSGO case hype is no longer here. It's not really a thing. It's just absurd demand and not really any supply. That's why case prices have gone so crazy in the past few months, if not this entire year. You look at cases like the Recoil, the Dreams and Nightmares, these are active duty and the most recent ones, but yet they're some of the most expensive ones on the market. Normally in other CSGO years, that would never be a thing. Now, a date that everyone has in mind for a case release very, very soon is at least the end of the Rio Major or after it's concluded. That would go very well competing with Operation Broken Fang and obviously Riptide, with Stockholm and Antwerp kind of being tied to those operations as well. From the past 2 or 3 years inside of CS, the track record is showing we're probably going to get an operation at the end of the major during the final days of the 75% off sale, or a little after. Let's talk about some of the reasons why I don't think we'll get an operation anytime soon. So number one is the player numbers are very high, which this is an arguable factor right here. You were probably asking yourself and asking me, why wouldn't Valve drop an operation right now when the player numbers are at their highest peak? People want to buy stuff, and people are happy to spend lots of money. Well, right now, we have a lot of people that want to do that, are enjoying the game, and are happy, and player numbers are high, and Valve's already making quite a bit of money. CSGO goes at a regular pace. CSGO also can't update their game as regular as others. It just doesn't really work like that. An operation in 5 months, maybe 6, would make the most sense. You'd have a huge gap in between cases, but also people would start slowly leaving the game and start slowly losing traction inside of Counter-Strike. If they have something very innovative for the next operation, that'll bring all those people back. They'll be happy to spend as much money as they wanted before, if not a little more, on the newer items, maybe even on some older ones, so they can get even more money and keep the players happy and keep the player count high. And the reasons why it would drop very soon is pretty much the opposite I just said. Valve wants to keep the players engaged without them leaving, and lots of content for us, and money is to be made by them. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are down below of this. I know it was a little controversial, maybe a little confusing for you, but I think a lot more goes into CSGO updates, especially operations, than we all think. We have to remember CSGO is an economy. It's pretty much a unregulated stock market. I think it's here to stay pretty much. Valve has people working on their economy to make sure they don't release too many cases in a very short period of time that'll devalue the older ones because there are so many. That's another arguing factor right here. So if we did receive a case once a month, that'd be 12 cases. And some of the skins in that case during this month, for an example, might be a little better than the ones before that, or maybe something very similar. And well, the great thing about this newer case is going to be very high in supply. If it has something very similar, like a red, for an example, that's also 3 times cheaper, most people are probably just going to pick up the newer one because the older one looks so similar and it's 3 times the price. That could easily break the economy and crash CSGO. At least the economy anyway. Now, I'm looking at it from a monetary perspective and the economy side of things for this, but I thought I'd just share my personal opinion on some new recent facts and news we've gotten about this recently. Now, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and of course subscribe for weekly CSGO content. Stay positive, stay sexy. I'm out, guys. Peace.